Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to show you how the financial markets, especially for crypto, work internally. The very basics, the genesis, the origins. It's very, very simple, but also very important because I want to show you the real truths about the markets so you can make better decisions in your trading game. My name is Anthony and I'm the creator of Market Monkey, which is a real-time order flow and liquidity analysis tool. It's a trading terminal. It's the fastest one in the world. Link down in the description. And a lot of people come into my other YouTube channel where I basically make more coding related videos where I'm building this thing completely live. And they say, hey, Anthony, I know what candlestick charts do, but I have no clue what all these other things are here on the screen. What are these lines? What is this? Anthony, please help me. Well, I have some good news. But before I can explain all the little tips and tricks so you can be a professional, we need to go back into this most simple thing of the market. How the hell do they work? And why is price the way it is at this point in time? So without any further ado, let's get into the video, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Excalibur and I'm going to divide the market into two pieces here because I want you to basically look at the markets from a different perspective, right? I want to learn you how to look at the markets like I look at them, right? And I don't look at the markets as a chart-based graph, line, candlestick, heck and mashi, whatever you want. I'm looking at the markets as a table, basically as a level-based table, a price level-based table. What do I mean by that? So I'm going to divide the market in two, and of course, we're going to have the sellers, okay, and we're going to have the buyers, right? Just like that. Are you a buyer or a seller? Hey, let me know. So basically, what we're going to do, also the bulls and the bears, right? They have a lot of different terminology. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a bit of price levels here on the sell side, right? Just like that. And on our exchange, because a market is a place where people can buy and sell, and in terms of financial instruments, that's going to be an exchange. Coinbase, Binance, Bybit, OKX, you name it, right? And we are going to sell apples. We're going to buy this instrument, this symbol is going to be the Apple symbol, which basically means we're going to buy and sell apples for US dollars, okay? And at this level, we're going to have, for example, 4 apples. And this is basically price level 10,000, right? And then we're going to have price level 11,000. We're going to have price level 12,000. And you never guessed it, this is going to be price level 20,000. All right, and we're going to have 4 apples here, we're going to have 3 apples here, and then we're going to have a very expensive apple here. All right, so let's say we're going to have our little boy, we're going to call him Little Jimmy. To be honest, we're going to call him Little Timmy. If Little Timmy wants to buy an apple on our apples exchange, what's going to happen is that if he wants to buy, he needs to go and look for the people that are willing to sell, right? That's why we have these levels here, right? This price level table. And if he wants to buy, he's going to buy that from the first level. And what is the first level? 10K. Because why? It would be a little bit stupid to buy from a level that is higher in price. Nobody's going to do that. You're always going to buy the cheapest one. So if little Timmy here wants to buy an apple, he's going to buy that from the price level 10K. So what does that mean? That means that the current price of our exchange is going to be $10,000, right? And if little Timmy wants to buy another apple 1 day later, well, if nothing changes, what's going to happen is that he's going to buy this apple here. And what's the price of this apple? Correct. That's going to be 10,000. And that game will basically continue itself until all the apples here at this price level are depleted. When there are no apples anymore at $10,000, we go to the next level in our list, right? And that level is going to be 11K. So if little Timmy wants to buy another apple, the price is going to be 11,000. So that basically means that the price just bumped up from 10K to 11K. And that's how price moves, because this game repeats itself. If this level is being bought up, raided, depleted, what's going to happen is we go to the next level and our price will be 12K, right? And now there are 3 apples left. If this level is being raided, if all these apples are gone, we go to the next level, and that's going to be 20K, right? So now we need to ask ourselves, why can price move so rapidly from time to time? Well, that basically means that between the 20K level, right, and this 12K level, right, the gap in here basically means there are no apples being sold at these levels. And you can, most of the time, you're going to hear the term, there is no liquidity, right? The books are thin, right? If this is the books and there is nothing between 12 and 20, that basically means that the books are thin, there is no liquidity, so price will rapidly skyrocket up. Yes, we are in a bull run, right? So that's basically what happens in the market, and that's how price moves, and there is nothing else. There is nothing weird going on, right? There is no hidden mechanic here. That's exactly how every single financial instrument work, right? And if we're gonna see this, right, just imprint this picture in your mind, and we're gonna open up a market monkey again, right? And we're gonna see these weird lines that people have no clue what the hell they're doing. Well, if we actually just zoom in, right, you see all these numbers that are basically these price tables, right? I want you to look at the markets from a level-based, price level-based table. So let me actually make this a little bit boom. Now we have all the things. Now we can see in real time how many apples, in this case bitcoins, how many bitcoins are basically being sold and being bought in real time, right? So that basically means the more purple this thing is, the less apples, the less Bitcoin are sitting in the books that are sitting at these price levels. The more bright yellow-greenish, the more apples are sitting at that price level, right? That's basically it. That's the mechanic. And we can see that the same thing here. Let me drag the order book here, right? So this is the order book, and this is just the same thing. It's this price level-based concept that I explained to you, where we have the price, the current price here, and then we have all the levels here, and all the amount of apples being sold, and all the amount of apples that people willing to buy, right? And then you have, of course, the market buyers, the little Timmies that just market buy into the market. For example, your neighbor or your friend, they want to buy some Bitcoin, they just do a market order, and they are going to buy or sell from the market makers, so to say, here on the exchange. And that's how basically price is being derived, and nothing else, right? So the thing is that a lot of misconception that I actually want to look at this, right? So you see what's happening here. You see price goes up into the very bright line, which basically means, hey, there are a lot of apples being sold. Goes back up, goes back down, goes back up, again into the zone where, again, a lot of apples being sold. So you can see that price it's hard for price to go through this zone. And that's what they call resistance. NAK support. For example, this could be support, right? It has nothing to do with the way your candles look, right? Because that's what people basically explain to you, like, hey, let me actually show you. So what these trading gurus tell you is like, okay, we have price, right? Look at that. Price is here. Up. We have price, and what it says, okay, little Timmy, if you want to be rich, the only thing you need to do is draw a simple line. And here is going to be, how do they call it? This is resistance. This is resistance, right? And then this is going to be support, and this is going to be support. And they are not wrong, but it's not just a pattern, right? It's not like, hey, back in 2019, we have resistance here. In 2020, we have resistance here. So that basically is going to be support somewhere else in another timestamp, in another time frame, in another year. That's actually not true. How does this work? Why is there some concept, some illusion of support and resistance? Well, that's actually driven by the same mechanics I just explained to you. So let me do it again. Let me give you a clear example how it works. Yes, nice. Wide line. So we're going to do this. We're going to draw some levels again, right? We're going to draw some levels. Again, look at the market from a level-based perspective, and it's going to change your life. So let me draw a shit ton of apples. So I'm going to draw like, oh man, this is going to be apple. Never been so much apples ever, right? Here are only 4 apples, 2 apples, right? So, if a little Timmy here wants to buy an apple, let's say you're gonna buy 10. He's gonna buy 10 apples. That's a lot of apples. What's gonna happen is this is price level 15K, right? Look at that. It's price level 15K, 16K. Just give it, I don't know, 25K. And being unpredictable, that's who I am. So basically, little Timmy wants to buy 10 apples. What's going to happen is he's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he bought 10 apples. What's the price? 15K. Okay, cool. Lydia is coming in, right? She wants to buy Bitcoin. She wants to buy 2 Bitcoins. Hop, 2 apples actually. 2 apples here. What's the price? 15K. Okay, cool. Then Mark with the K comes in. Wants to buy 2 apples. Boom, boom. What's the price? 15K. All right, man, this is getting very, very, very exhausting. Somebody else comes in. Jonathan. Jonathan comes in, wants to buy 5 apples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the price? 15K. That could be this. That could be, where is my thing? That could be here, right? Here are like a shit ton of apples. People want to buy 10, want to buy 2. But there are so many apples at this price level, right? That price cannot move. Price cannot move. Why? Because there are just too much apples. So price cannot move, hence resistance. But does that mean, if you think about that, right? If you think about that, if price goes back here and it comes back up in 2025, right? And here we're like, I don't know, 2,000 apples at this price level. So price could not break through. Are there going to be 2,000 apples again in 2025? Well, I don't know, right? So is that true? Let us look. Let us look, right? So for example, I don't know. You could just check it, right? So here, this is basically, it's not a year, but it's like a couple hours, a couple minutes actually back. If here is price at this price level around 84K, where 107 apples of Bitcoin being sold, and then suddenly here there are way more being sold. Right? So it could be that in this point of time, if people want to sell, that there is basically no support here because there were only 107,000 apples. But suddenly, a couple minutes further down the line, there are suddenly 3 times as much apples. So this could be support. So we don't know. We never know up front. So things that are happened in the past are no guaranteed it's going to happen in the future, right? In the future. So the best way for you is to look at this at the price level, at the price index based whole, but you need to have the tools to basically just check everything at this point in time, in real time. That's going to give you the best results. Hence heat maps, hence order book widgets, hence the depth of market, which is actually, this is way too big. Let me make it a little bit smaller. This is the depth of market where we see the exact same thing, where we can see, okay, this is the current price. These are the people that are willing to buy apples, Bitcoin. These are the people willing to sell, right? And then we can see the little Timmies here. These numbers are basically the little Timmies that are market buying at that level. So we combine, we're not going to go into depth right now. That's going to be for something later. But that's why we build these things. That's why these widgets exist. That's why these indicators, whatever you want to name it, exist to give you the current view of the market, which is always going to be the correct one, right? The markets are always right, not your bias, right? Not your paid group leader, right? And we can group that, right? We can say, for example, we can group it to 50, so you're going to see a more aggregated view of the markets if you're basically a long-term investor or a swing trader or whatever, you know what I mean. So that's exactly what is going on. And like I said before, the markets are bi-directional. So this is a sell example, this is a sell example, but it's bi-directional. So it happens the same way on the other side, right? If people willing to buy 2 apples and you're going to sell, if Timmy wants to sell his apples, he needs to sell into something that wants to buy, right? And that's, these prices are going to be a little bit less, right? It's going to be 14,000, 13,000. It works the way around. So if these apples are, if this level is being raided, depleted, wasted, is no more, then we go to the next one. And that's how price goes down. So you can clearly see that the only thing that moves markets is volume at a certain point in time, right? And we're going to talk about that later on into the price action, right? The so to say ICT price action traders. We're going to see what price action actually is, so you can understand that as well. I'm not going to say it's BS. You just need to understand the internal mechanics, and that's going to basically give you way more of an edge, than just blindly assuming that what people say is correct. Right? Cool, man. This was it for this video. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments if you maybe not know. Maybe this is going to give you another look at the markets. Let me know in the comments. I am very curious to know about that. And if you want to use Market Monkey, no problem. It's free. It's in beta now. Check the link down in the description. And I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Peace out.